Good morning, all. Welcome back to my class. Today we are going to learn the rest of the lesson, Bibin Chowdhury's Lapse of Memory. Before that, I am going to ask some questions related to this lesson. First one, where did Bibin Babu say he went in October 58? Bibin Babu said that in October 58 he was in Kanpur. Second one, why did Bibin Babu hesitate to visit Mr. Mukherjee? Bibin Babu hesitated to visit Mr. Mukherjee, thinking that it would be ridiculous if he had really visited Ranchi. Okay, then turn your textbook to page number 65, part 3. After lunchtime, Bibin Babu realized that he couldn't possibly carry on sitting at his desk and working. This had never happened in the 25 years he had been with the firm. He had a reputation for being a tireless, conscientious worker, but today his head was in a whirl. Back home at 2:30, Bibin Babu lay down in bed and tried to gather his wits together. He knew that it was possible to lose one's memory through an injury in the head, but he didn't know of a single instance of someone remembering everything except one particular incident, and a fairly recent and significant one at that. He had always wanted to go to Ranchi. To have gone there, done things, and not to remember was something utterly impossible. At 7:30, Bibin Babu's servant came and announced, Chini Babu, sir, says it's very important. Bibin Babu knew what Chuni had come for. Chuni Lal had been at school with him. He had been having a rough time lately and had been coming to see him about a job. Bibin Babu knew it was not possible to do anything for him, and in fact told him so. But Chuni kept turning up like a bad penny. Bibin Babu sent word that not only was it not possible for him to see Chuni now, but not in several weeks. But as soon as the servant stepped out of the room, it struck Bibin Babu that Chuni might remember something about the 58 trip. There was no harm in asking him. Bibin Babu hurried down the stairs and into the living room. Chuni was about to leave. But seeing Bibin Babu appear, he turned round hopefully. Bibin Babu didn't beat about the bush. Listen, Chuni, I want to ask you something. You have a good memory, and you have been seeing me off and on for a long time. Just to throw your mind back and tell me, did I go to Ranchi in 58? Chuni said, 58? It must have been 58. Or was it 59? You are sure that I did go to Ranchi? Chuni's look of amazement was not unmixed with worry. Do you mean you have doubts about having gone at all? Did I go? Do you remember clearly? Chuni sat down on the sofa, fixed Bibin Babu with a long hard stare and said, Bibin, have you taken to drugs or something? As far as I know, you had a clean record where such things were concerned. I know that old friendships don't mean much to you, but at least you had a good memory. You can't really mean that you have forgotten about the Ranchi trip. I am going to explain, so listen carefully. After lunch break, Bibin Babu realized that he could not continue sitting on his desk and work like nothing had happened. This was something so unusual that he had not faced anything like it in his 25 years of association with the company. He was unknown for his hard work and diligence. Unlike always, he was unable to think clearly today. As he reached home by 2:30 in the afternoon, Bibin Babu lay down in his bed and made an attempt to become calm to be able to think clearly. He was well aware about the possibility of losing one's memory because of an injury in the head, but he had never heard a case where one does not remember just one particular incident. It was more difficult for him to believe it because the incident he had forgotten was quite recent and actually significant. As it had been mentioned earlier, he had always wanted to go to Ranchi and do stuff, so it was not possible to forget all these things. It was about 7:30 in the evening. Bibin Babu's servant came and announced him that Chini Babu had come to see him, and he says that it's regarding something important. Bibin Babu was well aware of what he had come for. Chunilal had been going through a rough time, so he had come to ask for help related to a job. Bibin Babu had already told him that it was difficult for him to help Chunilal with a job, but Chunilal did not stop to come at his house. He has been compared to a bad penny to indicate that he was not very welcomed by Bibin Babu. Bibin Babu sent a message for Chunilal that it would not be possible to meet him now or for a few weeks. As the servant left the room to convey the message to Chunilal, Bibin Babu was hit with an idea. He thought there was no harm in asking Chuni about the Ranchi trip in 58. Bibin Babu rushed to the living room through the stairs and Chuni was just about to leave. But he saw Bibin Babu, so he turned back in a ray of hope. Bibin Babu came straight to the point and asked Chuni if Bibin Babu went to Ranchi in 58. Chuni was not sure if it was 58 or 59. Bibin Babu again asked Chunilal if he is sure that Bibin Babu had gone to Ranchi at all. Chunilal was shocked. He asked Bibin Babu if he was having doubts about having taken that trip to Ranchi. Bibin Babu asked him again if Chuni remembered about his trip to Ranchi clearly. Chunilal sat on the sofa and stared at Bibin Babu for a long time. He asked Bibin Babu if he had taken drugs or something. Chunilal said that Bibin Babu had a clear record of the events of his life in his mind. He further added that he knew that Bibin Babu didn't give much importance to old friendships, but he couldn't believe that he had forgotten about such an important trip to Ranchi. I am going to read the textbook, so listen. Bibin Babu had to turn away from Chuni's incredulous stare. "Do you remember what my last job was?" said Chunilal. "Of course, you worked in a travel agency. You remember that, and you don't remember that it was I who fixed up your railway booking for Ranchi. I went to the station to see you off. One of the fans in your compartment was not working. I got an electrician to fix it. Have you forgotten everything? Whatever is the matter with you? You don't look too well, you know." Bibin Babu sighed and shook his head. "I have been working too hard," he said at last. "That must be the reason. Must see about consulting a specialist." Doubtless, it was Bibin's condition which made Chunilal leave without mentioning anything about a job. Parish Chanda was a young physician with a pair of bright eyes and a sharp nose. He became thoughtful when he heard about Bibin Babu's symptoms. "Look, Dr. Chanda," said Bibin Babu desperately, "you must cure me of this horrible illness. I can't tell you how it's affecting my work." Dr. Chanda shook his head. "You know what, Mr. Chowdhury," he said, "I have never had to deal with a case such as yours. Frankly, this is quite outside my field of experience. But I have one suggestion. I don't know if it will work, but it's worth a try. It can do no harm." Bibin Babu leaned forward anxiously. "As far as I can make out," said Dr. Chanda, "and I think you are of the same opinion, you must have been to Ranchi, but due to some unknown reason, the entire episode has slipped out of your mind. What I suggest is that you go to Ranchi once again. The sight of the place may remind you of your trip. This is not impossible. More than that, I cannot do at the moment. I am prescribing a nerve tonic and a tranquilizer. Sleep is essential, or the symptoms will get more pronounced. Bibin Babu felt somewhat better the next morning. After breakfast, he rang up his office, gave some instructions, and then procured a first-class ticket for Ranchi for the same evening. I am going to explain, so listen carefully. Chinilal continued to ask Bibin Babu if he remembered what Chuni's previous job was. Bibin Babu remembered and told him it was in a travel agency. Chinilal asked him how could he forget that it was Chuni only who booked his railway ticket to Ranchi. He added that he even went to the station to see him off. He remembered that one of the fans in Bibin Babu's compartment did not work properly, and how he got an electrician to fix it. Chuni couldn't believe how Bibin Babu had forgotten about everything. Bibin Babu sighed and shook his head. Bibin Babu accepted that he had been working too much and that could be taking its toll on his memory. He wanted to see a specialist for his condition. Because of Bibin's condition, Chunilal was leaving from there without mentioning about the job. Bibin Babu visited a physician named Paresh Chanda. The young doctor had bright eyes and a sharp nose. Upon hearing Bibin Babu's symptoms, he became thoughtful. Bibin Babu termed his situation horrible. He further added that he couldn't tell him how it was affecting his work. Dr. Chanda shook his head. He told Bibin that he had never come across this type of case in his career, and this was quite outside his field of experience. So he had a suggestion. He called it worth a try and added that there were no negative consequences of doing it too. Bibin Babu was anxious as he leaned towards the doctor in order to understand what he was prescribing clearly. The doctor continued to explain to Bibin Babu that he thinks Bibin Babu must have been to Ranchi, but due to some unidentified reasons, the entire episode has slipped out of his mind. The doctor suggested him to visit Ranchi once again. The visuals of the place might bring back his memory of the trip. He prescribed him a nerve tonic and a medicine to reduce stress and anxiety that would help him sleep better. Inadequate sleep would only worsen the symptoms. As Bibin Babu woke up the next morning, he felt a bit better. After having breakfast, he called his office to give some instructions and then arranged a first-class ticket to Ranchi for the same evening. That's all for the day. Thank you.